Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Lord, please lead us from unreality to the reality, from ignorance to the knowledge, and from death to the immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. Dear devotees, so we have come almost the end of the text Aparokshanubhuti, which is one of the basic texts of the Advaita Vedanta, or the non-dualistic school of philosophy. So we were discussing 13th limb called Dharana. If you remember my earlier classes, we had 15 limbs as per author. Author prescribed 15 limbs for self-realization, for realization of oneself. Who am I? Now 12 limbs we have completed. 13th limb, which is Dharana, just I have mentioned, we couldn't discuss in detail. Now these 15 limbs, if you see, it is nothing but the scheme has been taken from Patanjala's Ashtanga Yoga, 8 limbs of yoga. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. But here, author is giving different explanations for everything, for every term, like starting from Yama and Niyama. And also he has added few more steps as independent steps, which will help for self-realization. According to Adi Shankaracharya, whoever takes these 15 steps seriously and whoever practices, one can have self-realization according to him. So that is the goal of the Vedanta. What is the goal of the Vedanta? Self-realization. Now, what will happen by having a self-realization? Do I get a better job? Do I get good money? My wallet gets strengthened? Or I will be beautiful, I look very beautiful or handsome? What do I get? The author or the Advaita Vedanta says that Atyantika dukkha nivrutti paramananda prapti means cessation of complete suffering and attainment of eternal permanent happiness. Now, I don't have a problem actually, for 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 days. But I can't say that in this mundane life, whatever I may be, however I may be, I can be happy at all given circumstances. It is not possible at all for whomever so. I may be the richest person in this entire universe, but still I will have suffering, I will have pain, I may have to experience agony. So my sufferings will not be permanent, but it will be keep on coming and going, keep on coming and going. Similarly with happiness, joy, contentment, bliss. Oh, such a beautiful day today. Happiest day in my life. These are the moments which are very blissful in my life. Such utterances we keep on saying. But that again, it will not be permanent. Now I am blissful, no doubt. Tomorrow I am blissful. Yesterday I was blissful. For a week, wonderful, I was blissful. But afterwards may not be. Whereas by studying Vedanta, by practicing Vedanta, one gets complete cessation of suffering. There will be no more suffering and attainment of eternal bliss. The bliss which we get here, it is unalloyed bliss. It is not bound by time and space. Rather, it is eternal at all given circumstances, at all times, at all places. That is the beauty of efficacy of Advaita Vedanta or self-realization. So why you have to attend Aparokshanubhuti class? To completely end your suffering and to have the unalloyed bliss eternally at all times. You have to attend Aparokshanubhuti class, you have to understand Vedanta, and you have to put into practice. Now let us try to understand the 13th limb, Dharana. Yatra yatra manoyati brahmanastatra darshanat manaso dharanam chaiva dharanasa paramata. The steadiness of the mind through realization of Brahman, wherever the mind goes, is known as the supreme dharana or concentration. Now you have taken the sea voyage in the boat or steamer. So few kilometers have been traveled in the steamer. So the land has gone away. You are not able to see any land. So you were in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean or Pacific Ocean. Some few kilometers you have traveled. Now you see east direction, water, west direction, water, north direction, water, south direction, water, below, water. And above only you will be able to see sky. And if there is a submarine, and if it is a submarine, you are in submarine, and if you have gone inside the water, then all the four directions, and even top and bottom also, only water, water, water. Now, here also the author is trying to tell that one is with the steadfastness of the mind, if we are able to see, if we try to see that everywhere the Brahman and Brahman alone exist, then that is called dharana. That means again it is trying here. It has not become the matter of experience for us. It has not become the matter of fact for us. Based on a theoretical knowledge, we are trying to see the Brahman. If you see Yoga Shastra, the Patanjali Yoga Shastra, he says that focusing the mind on particular object is called dharana. Say for an example, for 12 seconds, for 15 seconds, for 25 seconds, if your mind has got same vritti or multiple vrittis having the same content is called dharana. Say for an example, you got a desire to enjoy ice cream. Now you are thinking about ice cream. For 15 to 20 seconds, there are multiple of thoughts have come, but the content, the subject of that every vritti is ice cream only. As a result, we feel that there was only one vritti, but not so. There are different vrittis different thoughts have crossed over your mind, but the content, the subject of the thought, every thought is the same. So for 12 to 14 or 20 or 25 seconds, if you have got same content, same subject for your thoughts, then it is called dharana. So you are trying to focus your mind on particular object. And when you are trying to focus your mind on particular object, you are trying to exclude all other things. When you are trying to think about God, maybe Sri Ramakrishna or Jesus or Shiva or Rama or Krishna, you are not thinking about anything else. About your company, about your house, about your wife, about your friends, about the objects in and around you. So you are trying to exclude all of them and you are trying to focus your mind or your thoughts on the desired object at all. That is what dharana according to Patanjali Yoga Sutra. So, and this, if it has been retained for long duration, that becomes dhyana or meditation. Now, according to the Vedanta, they never say that you have to focus on one object. So in Yoga Shastra, they say that you have to focus on one object and you have to stop all other things. Now, these people, or the author is saying that Vedantic dharana is different. Even in the open eyes, you can do meditation or you can practice dharana. How? Your eyes are seeing a curtain. Fine. Start thinking that the Brahman is appearing as the curtain. Your eyes are seeing computer. Never mind. So immediately it started seeing computer. Never mind. Think that the Brahman is appearing as this computer. It is seeing light. Never mind. Brahman is appearing as the light. So it can see different multiple objects, but try to understand, try to feel that the Brahman is the substratum behind all these things as a base, and it is appearing as all these things. That is what, according to the author, Vedantic Dharana means. Means seeing the Brahman in everything, in everywhere. Just like there are so many sugar dolls. Sugar doll, which is a goat, ox, cow, lion, tiger, then some pigeons, some cockroaches, lizards, snakes, and different sizes, different colors, different shapes. Some are small, some are big, some are very big, some are tiny because even sugar dolls like ants. So many are there. So now, if we ask children will ask, oh, I like pigeon. I want pigeon doll only, sugar doll. Someone say, I like elephant. I want elephant only. Someone say, I like cow. I want cow. Someone say that I like horse. So I would like to purchase the horse doll. Now the person, he will be laughing, a knower will be laughing. Why? Whether you take a horse doll, horse sugar doll, or cow sugar doll, elephant sugar doll, ant sugar doll, cockroach sugar doll, or mobile sugar doll, everything is what? Nothing but sugar, sugar, sugar. If I can see that all these dolls are in different color, different shape, because of different shape, different names are given, but the substratum is, the content is sugar and sugar alone. If I can have that view of the reality, then my dharana has started according to the author. So the continuous awareness of that as much as possible, that I am Brahman and everything else is Brahman and Brahman alone. Brahman is appearing as this world and the objects of the universe. That we have to see. So in creation, whatever exists, living, non-living, sentient, insentient, animals, birds, beasts, reptiles, mammals, then whatnot, plants, the rocks, minerals, everything, the Brahman is appearing as all of this. That we have to keep on thinking, keep on trying to keep on trying to analyze and realize, analyze and realize, analyze and realize. This has to happen. And according to the author, this type of dharana is paradharana or superior dharana. Compared to what? Compared to Patanjala's Yoga Sutra. So because the Sat is there in every object, that all exists. I exist, you exist, pot exists, then computer exists, mobile exists, he or she exists, fine. The existence for all these things is what? Sat, that is called Brahman. When we remove that existence-ness, then everything ceases to exist. Just like water in the waves. There are different types of waves. Small wave, medium-sized waves, big waves, bigger waves, biggest waves. Fine. But the water is the substance of all these types of waves. The moment you remove the water, then the waves ceases to exist. That has to be thought, that has to be understood, and that has to be seen as much as possible inside and outside. That is what dharana. Again, it is only in a practice state. Sometimes it is possible, sometimes it may not be possible for me. So Vedantic dharana is trying to see that consciousness or Brahman or the self everywhere, in everything. Now, what is dhyana? What is Vedantic meditation? Has been explained in the 123rd verse. Let us see. Brahmaivasmi iti sadvrutya niralambataya stitihi dhyana shabdena vikhyata paramananda dayini. Remaining independent of everything as a result of the unassailable thought, I am verily Brahman, is well known by the word dhyana and is productive of the supreme bliss. So this is the 14th limb. One more limb is left out. This is the 14th limb according to the author. So what is meditation? What is Vedantic meditation? Or what is dhyana according to the author has been explained. That I am verily Brahman. I am that Brahman and Brahman alone. When this single thought, if it continues, the moment I understand, realize, and the single thought exists, that is what Vedantic meditation. Initially, I may have to meditate that I am that Brahman, I am that Brahman. Initially, I may have to superimpose. Why? Because I have to dehypnotize myself. Now I have been hypnotized. I am as a body, I am the mind, I am the intellect, I am the thoughts, I am the emotions, I am son of so-and-so, I am daughter of so-and-so, husband of so-and-so, wife of so-and-so, I am a manager, I am the team leader, technocrat, scientist, professor, like that. With so many relations, with so many paraphernalias, we have been added up with all these pseudo paraphernalias, and we are feeling that I am that, I am this and that. So that has to be removed. How to remove? Now, a thorn has pricked my feet. What should I do? I should take a needle or one more thorn, and with the help of that thorn, I should remove the thorn which has been struck in my feet. So similarly, now I have been hypnotized. I am body, mind, so and so. I have to dehypnotize. How? By thinking, I am not the body, I am not the mind, and I am the self. I am the self. I am the self. Again and again. And this one thought, I am the self, the self, I am the self, I am the self. When this Brahmakara Vritti, they say Vedanta, when this thought alone goes in the mind continuously for a long time. In dharana, it is with a specified time. In dhyana, it is for a long time, maybe 2 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. The same thought, if it goes, I am that Brahman, I am that Brahman, then that is called Vedantic meditation according to the author. So again, according to Patanjali, what he says, Taila Dharavat. When if you are pouring the oil from one vessel to another vessel, there will be continuous stream. There will be no break, continuous chain it will be like. So like that, if there is the same thoughts of similar continuously, as if it is a one thought, continuous stream of thoughts having the same content, same subject, then for a long time, that is called dhyana, according to Patanjali. Now, according to the author here is saying that only the thought of Brahman exists, that I am the self, I am the Atman, I am the Brahman, then that is called Vedantic meditation. So all thoughts has to be converged with the one thought that I am the Brahman, I am the self. So again, the author here also, he tries to explain that there can be many thoughts, 10 thoughts, 20 thoughts, 30 thoughts, 40 thoughts, but the content of all the thoughts will be one. Now, say for an example, you are hearing my talk. Aparokshanubhuti thought is crossing over your mind. And in front of you, wherever you are sitting in front of that, there's a chair. Chair thought is also going. Suddenly you remember, oh, when is Swami is going to end, I would like to, because I'm feeling hungry. I would like to eat food. Immediately, the food thought came to your mind at the same time. So table thought, chair thought, Aparokshanubhuti class thought, Swamiji thought, food thought, so many thoughts are going on, multiple thoughts. And every thought's content or subject is different. Now, whereas in meditation, there can be multiple thoughts. Let's say, for an example, 10 or 20 or 50 or 100 thoughts are going on, crossing over your mind. But the 100 thoughts content or subject is only one. That is what? Self or Atman or Brahman. Probably I will give one more example. Now you are a lover of music. You are hearing a good music. And when you are hearing the music, just you are enjoying, you have forgotten external surroundings and no other thought is going. Just you are hearing the music and that the music thought or thoughts are going on. So that is also meditation on music. It may be natural for some people. It may be after practice, it may be possible for some time. Someone like, for an example, a good artist. When he starts painting, he forgets time. He forgets people who are there in and around. He forgets the whole world, engaged in that, and he keeps on doing it. So he has got meditation on drawing or on painting. So similarly, here we should have Vedantic meditation on the self. I am that Brahman. I am, that is the existence, consciousness, bliss absolute. No fire can burn it. No weapon can destroy it. No water can wet it. No air can dry it. It doesn't have any destruction. It is neither born. It doesn't have even death. It is not an object at all. It doesn't have any name and form. It is a subject. It is a bare awareness. It is a pure consciousness. Now, there are so many ideas pertaining to one thought, pertaining to one subject, that is called self or Atman or Brahman. When still that gets distilled more and more refined, then I am that Brahman alone thought will be going. There can be multiple thoughts, but the content and the subject of the thought will be one. That is what? Brahman. And also the author is trying to tell in this verse, in the Vedanta, it is not an visualization or imagination. When we do devotional type of upasanas, meditation, devotional meditation, whoever attending my Saturday classes, I've taken few classes on meditation, you may be knowing. Subjective meditation, objective meditation, subjective and objective meditation, neither subjective nor objective meditation. Like all types of meditations can be categorized under 4 types. Like for an example, Vipassana or Zen, that is neither subject nor object meditation. Vedantic meditation comes under object meditation or objective meditation. Then the devotional practices, upasanas, comes under subjective meditation. Then Vidyas, which has been discussed in the Upanishads and some of the Tantra books, that comes under, it is subjective and objective meditation. So now this Vedantic meditation is objective meditation. I am that self, I am that self, and encouraging it to the self. Whereas if you see the subjective meditation, that is maybe like my Ishtadevata is Shiva. I am trying to meditate on Shiva. Initially, I visualize the form of Shiva. So visualization and imagination is involved there. But it is called upasana, according to the Vedanta. It is an subject. I mean, it is an object according to them. Now, Vedantic meditation is meditating on oneself or meditating on the Atman or meditating on the self. That is called, it is a subject meditation, subjective meditation or subject meditation. It is less pure consciousness. So here, it is a fact, it is not a visualization or it is not imagination according to the author. It is a series of thoughts, but whereas it is invoking the knowledge, it is invoking the knowledge which has gained through Shravana and Manana. Shravana is hearing again and again by scriptures, maybe Vedantic texts, Upanishads, again and again reading and hearing. Then Manana is again rethinking, contemplation, whatever I heard. Shrotavyo, Mantavyo, Nididhyasitavyaha, like that they say. First, we should hear again and again, and whatever we heard, we should keep on contemplate on. That is called Manana. So when we are doing this, just like when we churn the curds, we get butter. So similarly, when we are hearing and when we are contemplating on this, then we also get that like butter, product butter, like we get some knowledge. So we are trying to meditate on that knowledge. We are trying to meditate or thinking on that knowledge. That is why it is not visualization or it is not imagination. It is a fact. It is a fact of truth that Ahamasmi Brahma, Ayamatma Brahma, Pragnanam Brahma, and so on. So, but according to whatever the author may tell here, but we have to understand that, and we should accept that it is also Vritti Gnana, the knowledge aroused from Vritti, from the thought. I am that Brahman. It is existence. It is pure. It is consciousness. It's pure consciousness. It is blissful. These are all thoughts only for us. It is also a thought because this Vritti Gnana only can remove the ignorance, isn't it? That's why it is a Vritti Gnana. We have to accept it. But whereas the beauty of this Vritti is it gives Ananda and it gives Purnatva. Now, ice cream Vritti gives a momentary satisfaction. Oh, I am going to London. So happy. The moment I think that, I am feeling very happy. I feel, oh, in my lifetime, I had a dream that I should see London. Fine, I went. I enjoyed it. I came back. That's it, over. Sometimes that joy was lingering with God. I mean, let God forbid, let it, if not anything happened there, then I enjoy my London visit and come back, then it lingers, that joy, for some days. But again, some problem comes, that joy goes away. It fades away. But whereas the Vedantic meditation, when I do and when I get established, the joy I get from the I am that Brahman, I am that self, it is unalloyed bliss. It is a permanent bliss. It is a ananda. It gives a purnatva. It gives a completeness for me. That is the beauty of this Vedantic meditation. Now, the last limb, which is called samadhi. The last limb, 15th limb, that is samadhi. What it is, it has been explained in the 124th verse. Let us see. Nirvikarataya vrutya brahmakarataya punaha vritti vismaranam samyak samadhir gnana sannakaha. The complete forgetfulness of all thought by first making it changeless and then identifying it with Brahman is called samadhi, known also as knowledge. So we should understand what is the difference between dhyana and samadhi. In dhyana, efforts are involved. Swami Yatishvanji has written a beautiful book, Meditation and Spiritual Life. Whoever wishes to practice meditation seriously, everyone has to read this book. There he says, if you have to practice half an hour meditation, say in a day, you have to prepare your 23 and half an hour for this meditation. Then only your meditation can be qualitative. I sit for half an hour meditation and 23 hours I leave my mind in a 360 degree, then I cannot have a good meditation. So it is a very conscious, deliberate effort. Why our meditations are not qualitative? Why we are not able to get concentration, complete concentration meditation? Because other times we have left our mind free. There is no license for it. It does all sorts of nonsense. It does all sorts of things. And I sit for meditation. If I try to control, if I would like to control, then definitely it is not possible and mind also doesn't allow. What happened to you? Till now you were okay. You were my slave. Suddenly you want to be my master. I will not allow you. So the mind doesn't allow. So that means what? It is a conscious effort. In the meditation, efforts are involved. It is also a conscious activity. Some say that, oh Swamiji, I sat in meditation. I don't know how much time happened. And when I got up, it was for 1 hour and I was having so much bliss. If not all, most of the cases, in such type of utterances, if someone says we should know it certainly, we should know it for certain that was a sleep, they had a good sleep. In the name of meditation, they had a good sleep. Many spiritual seekers I have seen, in the name of meditation, they doze off, they sleep off. No. So it is a conscious activity. It is not unconscious activity. Meditation is conscious activity. It is an effort, it is with full of efforts, and it is a conscious activity. Whereas samadhi, there are no efforts. Why? Because it becomes natural. Dhyana, it is a conscious activity. I am the meditator and I am trying to meditate on some subject, on some object. Meditator, the act of meditation, and also the subject or the content of the meditation. All these three things are there. Whereas in the samadhi, I am the consciousness, and I and the consciousness doesn't exist separately because I will be the consciousness. So it is very natural. There are no efforts. And probably on the lighter side, I can give an example. In the dhyana, it is like a person who is having a more or less good knowledge and who is having a learner license. Is having a learner's license, is able to is able to drive the vehicle without much trouble, but is not mastered. Whereas Samadhi, like, he has got a driving license and he has got a very good road grip. He keeps on talking, he keeps on hearing music, he keeps on chatting with the people, but at the same time, he never misses the road, he never meets with an accident. Why? Because he has got so much mastery over the driving. So the Samadhi is like that. So, and also in Samadhi, no duality exists. The meditator, the process of meditation, and the content of the subject of the meditation, whatever is there, everything gets dissolved. There only the consciousness or awareness alone exists. I am meditating. I am trying to think that I am Brahman. I, individual self, the content of the meditation is the self or a Brahman, and the process, so-called meditation, is three things are involved. In Samadhi, all these three things ceases to exist. No duality. That is a state of non-duality. There are no two things. That means only consciousness and consciousness alone exist. I am consciousness. If I have to say, I should feel somewhat little, at least little separate, some separatedness from the consciousness. You have to imagine, you have to understand, then only you can. If you have to think, then only you can understand. Otherwise, it is not possible. So here, I am the consciousness. To tell also there are two things. I am in the Samadhi, there will be no person to say I am the consciousness. The consciousness alone exists. So that we have to understand. So there, I am the meditator. I am meditating on particular Atman or self or on God. All these three things cease to exist. He becomes consciousness. He becomes pure awareness. So forgetfulness of everything. And he becomes the consciousness. That's what happens in Samadhi. And this Samadhi here is called Jnana Samadhi. Why? Because the Samadhi has come from the realization of oneself. I am the self. I am that consciousness. I am that existence. I am that bliss. So here Samadhi is Jnana Samadhi, they say. And it naturally happens. It is not because of practice. Till attaining Samadhi, it has to be practiced. It is a deliberate practice. But once you attain Samadhi, that means what? It becomes natural. It has to be natural. That has to be very clear. So training the mind to be still is required till concentration, till dhyana, till meditation. But in Samadhi, you need not to train your mind. You need not to train your thoughts. You need not to prevent things and all, because in Samadhi, everything becomes so natural. So that is what Samadhi. And this Samadhi, the moment when I realize who am I, then that means I am free person. I am liberated person. Now, in this next shloka, the author tries to tell how important this Nididhyasana is. Contemplation. Or Vedantic meditation, how important it is, he tries to tell in the next verse. Let us see, 125th. So now all 15 limbs are over. Now these 15 limbs are meant for what? To do Nididhyasana. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, if you remember. So for Nididhyasana, we have to follow these 15 steps. And what is that importance of Nididhyasana has been told in 125th verse. Imancha Pruttimanandam Tavat sadhu samabhyaset Vashyo bhaved kshanat pumsaha prayuktasan bhavet svayam. The aspirant should carefully practice this meditation that reveals his natural bliss until, being under his full control, it arrives spontaneously in an instant when called into action. Means we have to keep on practicing till this 15 limbs. Once attains Samadhi, or once he understands who am I, then there is no problem at all. Then he will get Atyantika Dukkha Nivrutti and Paramananda Prapti. What is this Atyantika Dukkha Nivrutti? Cessation of complete suffering and attaining the eternal bliss. That is what. So he seeks that one should get self-knowledge. It is the only method to destroy our ignorance. It is the only way to eradicate all our sufferings, according to the author. Now, Sri Ramakrishna has said, Ramanuja has said, Madhva has said, or Jesus has said, or Muhammad Paigambar has said, how it is. Yes, everyone has told the truth in different ways. Now, in this text, according to the author, knowledge alone can give liberation. Knowledge alone can remove all our sufferings. It can eradicate all our problems, according to the author, with the particular text. That we have to keep it in mind. So we need sincerity, we need commitment for all these things. That is true. And by that, what happens? Akrutima Ananda. In that verse, if you remember, the author was trying that we will attain Akrutrima Ananda. Akrutrima Ananda means it is uncreated bliss, unalloyed bliss. It is a permanent bliss. There is no end to it. And it is permanent in nature. When I eat ice cream, I was so happy. But I got a cold next day. Then I thought, oh my God, why did I eat ice cream in this cold season? Or I was eating chocolate. While I was eating chocolate, I enjoyed. That's it. After some time, no more. The joy was temporary. That is Krutima Ananda, Krutrima Ananda. Whatever we get from the worldly pursuits, that is law, it is momentary. Akrutrima Ananda is, it is unalloyed bliss. It is a permanent bliss. By Nididhyasana, by practicing 15 steps, we attain Nididhyasana, or we get established in Nididhyasana. Once you established in Nididhyasana, what happens to you? You attain Akrutrima Ananda, means you will attain permanent bliss. Now, philosophically, we cannot say that you are attaining permanent bliss. It is rather you will remove the problem, you will remove the preventions actually. Like for an example, there was a beautiful sunlight. But because of clouds, a cloud has covered the sun, we were not getting the sunlight, beautiful sunlight, or scorching sun rays, beautiful sun rays. Light we get, no doubt. Even cloud is there. The moment cloud is removed, or cloud passes away, then again we will get the beautiful sun rays. So similarly, there was already we had this nature. Already we are blissful in nature, but it has been covered because of the thick veil of ignorance. The moment you remove the ignorance, then you will be able to understand and appreciate. That's all. So here attaining it is only, just to make us understand, they say, actually we don't attain any new thing. Rather, we only removed the obstacle. We removed the ignorance. We destroyed the ignorance. We removed the darkness. So what happens? Light came, knowledge came. That was not a new thing. It was there already. Only we came to understand. We came to realize. There's a beautiful story. A beggar had a small box, very small, very tiny box. He got it from his father. And his father had said, look, this is a very important treasure for our family. So you should keep it with you till your death. And before your death, you should hand it over to your son. So very religiously he had kept, though he was a beggar, wherever he went, along with his, in his pocket, he was keeping all the time. And while dying, he handed over that small box, small casket or box to his son, and he said, this is a family treasure. You should never lose it. If you lose it, then there can be a bad omen or whatever. So you have to keep it all the time. Then very religiously, with all respect, due respect to his father, he accepted it, and he was also maintaining. And because of his poverty and for some reason, again, he was also a beggar. He had one more friend, one more beggar friend, basically. After some years, both of them are very close friends. The other beggar friend asked him, maybe say for understanding's sake, one is John, the other is Jerry, we can think. The Jerry asked John, I'm seeing from long time, couple of years, you are carrying a small box, what it contains. John said, oh, my dear, I do not know. I got from my father, and he got from his father. Probably he might have got from his father. So it is our family treasure box or family box. So we have to keep it, it seems. We are not supposed to leave it anywhere. We are not supposed to lose. Jerry said, fine, interesting. Why don't we open and see what it is, what it contains? John said, maybe no, because my father never gave that advice. He only said that it is very precious, you have to maintain. Jerry said, come on. Definitely by opening that, we are not losing anything. We are not throwing away. I am asking only you to see, open and see, let us understand what it is. So somehow John was reluctant initially. Jerry, with different logics, he went on explaining. Then finally John thought, okay, by opening there has been nothing, because again I will close it and afterwards I will maintain like earlier. Then finally both of them agreed, and John, he opened. In that box, there were again a small cloth bag. Then John said, okay, now we have opened, you saw there's a cloth bag, let us close. Jerry said, wait, since we have opened, please listen to me. Let us see what it contains. John, again, he was reluctant. Jerry, again, he persuaded him. Because friend is telling again and again, because of friendship binding, John agreed and he said, okay, let us open. And slowly they opened the cloth bag. And for both of their astonishment, in the cloth bag, there were 7 or 8 diamonds. And each diamond, for it was thousands of euros. The cost of each diamond was thousands of euros. Then the Jerry said, how foolish you are, and how foolish your father, and how foolish your grandfather. Such a treasure house you people had, and unfortunately, you and your father, your grandfather were beggars. John nodded his head and he said, yes, definitely. Unfortunately, some of our forefathers, probably they were rich. While giving, they didn't explain what it is. Only they asked to preserve it. But unfortunately, my forefathers, they didn't open and see. If they had opened and seen, this would not have happened. Then John thanked Jerry. And of course, he gave 1 diamond. Probably might have given 1 diamond or not. But by selling 1 diamond, he became a millionaire and all his poverty was eradicated. Now, it is a symbolical story there. Now, what is the jewel? Diamond refers here. That is what inner self, that is what Atman or consciousness. We are not sinners. We are divine. The divinity confirms infinite human possibilities. There's a lot of strength. Because of that self, I am divine. That gives a lot of confidence. That gives a lot of power. That gives a lot of dignity. That gives a lot of, positive qualities. But unfortunately, just like the John never opened the box and he never understood what is inside, similarly, we have never understood what we are in reality. Just because he opened his box and he saw that there was diamonds, and he became a millionaire. The moment we open our box, and what is that self? What is that diamond called self? The moment you understand, then you will become millionaire. Millionaire not from the money point of view, millionaire of happiness, millionaire of bliss. And you will become the millionaire of the custody of that bliss, which is, invaluable. Again and again, the sages have been telling that you are the divine, you are the divine. Try to understand. Then the moment you understand, the moment you realize, you will be the happiest person. No more birth and death, no more fear, no more stress, no more strain, no more any problems. Even if they are there, it doesn't boggle you. It doesn't bother you. It doesn't taint you. That is the beauty of this Vedantic knowledge. So that is the beauty of the Nididhyasana, according to the author. Whatever you get from this world are worldly objects and worldly achievements. Of course, we need it, no doubt, but it is temporary in nature. But the moment when we get from our self inside, that is invaluable, it is permanent, and it is the cure, it is the panacea for all our problems. It is Akrutrimanand, unalloyed bliss. It is complete in itself. Why? Because it is of the nature permanent. And it is also called Swarupa Ananda. The Ananda, the bliss, which has come from our own nature, real nature. It is not because from my friend. It is not from my wife. It is not from my husband. It is not from the money. Whatever you get from the external things, it is bound to go away. At some point of time, it may go away. The fear of losing them will be there. But the moment I understand, who am I? Myself, my inherent nature, it cannot leave me at any time. I cannot leave it any time. So that is very permanent. That is the beauty of this Vedantic truth. The moment I understand that, I will be happiest person, I will be blissful person at all times. So we have to understand that, we have to experience that. That should be our goal. That's why we have to practice. And also the question may come. That means by doing that, by experiencing this, there will be no more problems. External problems, the worldly problems can never be solved. It keeps on coming and going, but you will not be affected. How to understand this point? Oh, he's a very healthy person. He has got very good health. Say for an example, Dermot has got very good health. Dermot has got good health, that doesn't mean that he will never fall sick. Dermot, don't worry, let God forbid, you should be healthy. I mean, if you are healthy, that doesn't mean that you will never fall sick. He will never get fever. He will never get cold. He'll never get any other problems. No, he may get it, no doubt, but the time of recovery will be very fast. For some, if they get cold, it may take 1 month. For some, it is 15 days. For some, it is 3 months. For him, probably 3 days or 1 week is enough. So the recovery time will be very fast. That's why he's called very healthy. He has got very good health. So he's healthy. That means what? He will never get any disease. No. So similarly, a person who is self-realized person, if he's living in the world, he also has to face all the dualities, just like an ignorant man faces. But the effect on this realized person will not be there at all. To larger extent, even if it all happens, that will be momentary. It can be 1 minute, or it can be 5 minutes, or it can be 10 minutes, or it can be few seconds. In no time, he can recover. It will not have a cascading effect. Just like you draw a line on the water, immediately it goes. You draw a line on the sand bed, it is there for some time. And you draw a line by a pencil on the wall, it goes away. On a permanent marker, if you use permanent marker if you draw a line on the wall, it stays for a long time. Then you took a piece of glass and you drew the line on the wall. That means what? It gave a permanent scar, permanent mark there, isn't it? So that's what the difference between an ignorant man and the realized man. The realized man, whatever the effect happens, either it is like drawing a line on the water or drawing a line at the most on the sand bed, that's all. So that we have to understand. Now, when we hear all these things, it is very nice, oh, beautiful. But at the same time, what happens? And what is the state? What will happen to him who has got Nivedita, one who has established in Nivedita, who has got self-realization? He will have no more pain and all, we have heard to the larger extent. What is that state actually? What is that beautiful state? How to understand that? That has been explained in the next verse. By God's grace, we shall discuss in the next class. Next Thursday, there will be no class because I'll be going to London and I'll be back only on Friday, since there will be no Aparokshanubhuti class on Thursday. So probably after 15 days, we shall try to discuss few more slokas left over on Aparokshanubhuti. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Rama Krishna Arpanamastu. Yeah, you got any questions?
Swami, earlier I have missed maybe something. Today I have explained about dharana. Can you please explain maybe very briefly on the pratyahara? That is the main, I think, if I'm not wrong, that is the foundation step after yama niyama.
Yes. So Patanjali explains the pratyahara as withdrawal of the senses actually.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so withdrawal of the senses is according to the Patanjali. But now, what is according to the Vedanta is very, very important. According to the, withdrawal of the senses according to the Patanjali, that has been included in Dhamma itself in the Vedanta, which is withdrawal of the senses or Indriya Nigraha. Isn't it? So here, according to him, trying to see that Brahman everywhere, more or less. It is not withdrawal of senses, rather by trying to see the Brahman everywhere, I will be withdrawing, it is covering everything with the Brahman, according to the author. So it is not the control of senses. It is not withdrawal of the senses. It is trying to see the self, or it is trying to see the Sat principles in every object, or in every place, in everywhere, or in everyone.
Okay.
Or maybe
Okay,
in one sentence I can say, seeing God or seeing self in everything and everywhere. That is what Pratyahara, according to the author.
Okay, Swami. I think it is almost near to the even Dharana as well in a way.
Correct.
Dharana, I just now have explained that
Yes.
I am Brahman,
So
I
in
am
Dharana,
Brahman.
it should be more serious and more focused, and it will be a little more extended, probably.
Okay. Thank you, Swami.
Yeah.